Santa Fe ranks very low with recycling as compared nationally as well as statewide. We recycle at 10% versus the national average of 33%. The numbers are calculated by a ratio of recycled material to regular waste. We asked Regina Wheeler, the solid waste director for Santa Fe, why the city ranks so low.
There's a couple of reasons, I think. One of them is about the calculation. One of the things that doesn't get measured, for instance, is material that goes to thrift stores. So some of us think of that as kind of like recycling, but and it's certainly a really important and very valuable thing to do for the community and for the economy, but it doesn't show up in those numbers. And so those kinds of reuses, which I think New Mexicans are really probably do a lot of, where, you don't throw something away, you look at it and you think, gosh, could my friend, my family, or the thrift store use this? And so things get really well used. The other reason, I think, is that historically there's been some difficulties with the curbside collection in the city of Santa Fe, where, it started out really great about, 15 years ago when it started, and then we went to the every other week system, the red chili, green chili, remember that? People got really confused about which week was their week, and I think there was confusion, and I think people gave up. Now we're getting, we've had once a week collection, but I think people maybe didn't really know. There hasn't been a lot of public outreach. And so, that's why we just see this huge opportunity to just, like you said, this is an environmentally minded community and certainly a resource-minded community. We just think that by raising awareness and letting people know what outlets are available, that this number is going to double in 1 year, no problem.
Curbside recycling is not mandatory in Santa Fe. Some cities issue fines if residents throw out recycled materials. Here, the program focuses on communication and educating residents on how they can recycle.
Well, part of our new focus on recycling and trying to allow people to participate in it more and understand it more and trust it more, one of the things we're doing is we're doing a lot more communication with our customers. So in the past, what would happen is people would put out recycling and it would have all kinds of other non-recyclables in it, and we would just pick it up and go on our way because it was just easier. And now we're really working with our crew to leave stickers for people to let them know what is and isn't recyclable. And so we're giving them that feedback. I think that's the way we do things in New Mexico, is we start by education and voluntary participation as we move towards, maybe possibly things like outlawing cardboard in the trash.
Is it mandatory for businesses to recycle?
It's definitely not mandatory in any way at all, and there's various, but we do have a lot of commercial recycling going on. A lot of the downtown businesses recycle. We have probably 400 businesses in Santa Fe recycling right now. It's a nice big number, but it's a small percentage of the businesses. Apparently, I think we have something around 8,000 businesses in Santa Fe, so we could do better. And we're working on that too, is raising public awareness. Right now, the Department of Cultural Affairs has contacted us, and they'd like to start trying to recycle at all of their museums. The schools have hired a coordinator that's responsible for getting recycling going at all of the schools, and she's really working well with us to get them recycling cardboard, paper, and other mixed materials. So slowly but surely, we're raising the awareness, making people aware that we have very customizable recycling solutions for businesses. Because, businesses have all different kinds of constraints, everything from, not having the space for a cardboard dumpster in their, little parking lot downtown to, how challenging is it to train all their staff to make sure that nobody puts six-pack containers in the recycled glass, So we work a lot. We actually have somebody that's dedicated to working with businesses and institutions on setting up these programs at their sites and making it work for them.
A case study to emulate might be Los Alamos, where their recycling rates rose from 8% to 20%. Wheeler was the director there for 7 years before coming to Santa Fe. How have they been successful?
A couple of things that they're doing up there is the outreach and awareness, which we're really beginning to do down here. A lot of partnership from, these kinds of interviews which are really great on the radio, as well as partnership from the Santa Fe New Mexican, and, really focusing in on our website and engaging citizens. That's one way that we achieve that in Los Alamos. Another way that we're kind of considering here in Santa Fe is they do automated curbside recycling. So instead of having the little boxes that you carry to the curb, you have a blue bin that looks like your trash cart, but it's a little smaller. and that's what your recycling gets collected in. When we implemented that in Los Alamos, we increased recycling amount by 30% curbside.
According to Wheeler, recycling is cost-effective for the city. The cost to run the recycling facility is funded by the selling of the materials it yields.
Yes, is at our own recycling facility, the Buckman Road Recycling and Transfer Station that opened up a few years ago. I mean, City of Santa Fe has their own, what they call MRF, Material Recycling Facility, and it has the conveyor belt where the mixed materials go down and get sorted mechanically and then by hand. That facility is almost completely funded by the sale of material that they process. So that's really exciting, and what that means is that when the City of Santa Fe brings recycling into that facility, it doesn't cost us anything, dump it there for processing. And to compare that, if you take something to the landfill, it's $35 a ton. So from that perspective, it does save us $35 a ton to recycle instead of dispose.
Regina Wheeler, Solid Waste Director for the City of Santa Fe. More information about recycling can be found on their website, santafenm.gov/recycle. I'm Rachel Kennedy for KSFR News.